Hey, welcome, guys. It is time for Bollox Talks and Tangents. Lenny's over there trying to share the show. Technology is not his friend all the time, but he does have on his best Charlie 2.5 Men shirt. So he's got that going for him. We're happy to be back. Happy New Year to all you guys. We have an amazing show. We have a lot of fun. Unique small towns in Florida.
Very small towns.
You went tiny.
I went down, yeah.
I went tiny, and I went more for the story. I'm not going to lie. I went for the story, and, I couldn't do this without doing the land. So,
well, I left that one for you.
Yeah.
I did. I thought about it.
And you threw in one of our neighboring towns, which I have a great love for, Casadega.
Sure.
So, but that's a cool town.
They know you're coming.
Oh.
They know you're coming.
Yeah, sometimes Cleo didn't see her bankruptcy coming, though.
Uh-huh.
But we got some really, really cool towns. We got some unique word origins.
Couple, yeah.
So that are a lot of fun out there. And, just happy to be back. Welcome. Happy New Year, Lynn.
Cheers. Safe and healthy, my friend.
Yeah.
Safe and healthy.
And we're drinking today. We're drinking the Abare Sherry Cask Finished Bourbon. Now, this bourbon right here has a sweeter bourbon to it.
Yes.
And it's a great sipping bourbon.
Beautiful color, too.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful color. And I'm telling you, get it at St. Augustine Distillery. I think it's about $150 a bottle.
It is.
Yeah, it's a little on the higher side, but it's yummy.
I figured I'll drink it here because when I was there, I bought myself a couple other bottles. I bought a sherry cask or a port cask and a toasted one.
Yeah.
So I got two for the price of one.
Yeah, we have toasted over here, and I think
Toasted's nice.
I think we finished off our
we did that
port cask.
We did that one in December for sure.
But we got to talk about our amazing sponsors. We already talked a little bit about St. Augustine Distillery and Citygate Spirits. These guys really do an amazing job on their tasting tours. So happy they're in our town. They give a different level of character to our city. People complain about tourist traps and things like that, but these guys do a quality product, do quality tours, and they have upped the level of St. Augustine.
Historic building.
Yes,
In the original ice plant.
The old ice plant.
Yep. I think that's a hoot.
It was a film studio for a little bit. And then they bought it, and there was still some of the old reels in there and some of the old stuff. Yeah, so it was a really cool building. I toured it going back to Ryan Detro was one of the ones who was with the distillery when they first started. Ryan and I toured it when we were doing the amphitheater, and we were looking for a small indoor venue. Ended up landing at Ponte Vedra Concert Hall, which is turned into a very nice venue, but we were going to do something similar to the concert hall at the ice plant.
I'm very excited about the renovation of the concert hall too.
Oh yes, yeah, that was a long time coming too.
Second floor and bars and bathrooms.
I can tell you, we had that all in place with luxury boxes up there, and we just ran out of money. It was during 2010 that area. When it was 2009, 2010, nobody had money.
Right.
So we just ran out. So I'm happy for Gabe and his entire staff over there. If they can pull that off, that renovation is going to be a lot of fun.
It's a great venue. It's going to be down. It's going to be dark for a year. But it's just a great venue. We got tickets for Dave Mason. And I've seen, 15 shows there since we've been in town.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
You've seen more shows there than I have, I think.
Oh, I've seen more shows there than many people. Yeah, we go a good one. Yeah.
I was done about the 10th show over there, and then that's when my retirement from the county came to be.
Well, you can go back as a private citizen.
Well, now that it's in private hands, I can.
Oh, wow, you couldn't go when it was.
I can go back. To the shows. Right. I can go back to the shows. I go to the amphitheater all the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, it wasn't. I couldn't go back to work there.
No, right.
Pretty sure at that time they did not want me. Now they seem to be very welcoming.
Okay.
But the person I had a problem with is no longer there. So.
So then the door's open.
There you go. Okay. All right. Doors always open at Meehan's.
Always.
Reggie getting through Hell Week. Congratulations, you guys survived. It was a rough week last week for the restaurants downtown.
Yeah, but the kids that work there just sock it away.
Yeah,
Good
hopefully
for
they
them.
do. Hopefully
Good for
they
them.
do, because it's going to
Good
get
for them.
it's going to get slow again, and
Yep.
you hopefully you have a little bit stored away. But Meehan's Irish pub, it's 3 bars in one. They got Johnny's Oyster. Did you do
We did.
your New Year
And
or
we
Christmas Eve?
we were treated like gold. Absolutely. You know, there was a couple of chairs waiting for us up at the Oyster Bar. It was wonderful. I mean, you know, I people know how much I love Meehan's because I don't hesitate to say it's our favorite restaurant in town. But I have to tell you, between Sammy and Reggie, you know, they're just salt of the earth. And I think Reggie Meggs is just one of the finest people in this community.
He's a kind heart.
He is one of the finest people. Absolutely.
He's a kind heart. I don't
Yep.
care what Derek says about him. I don't understand it anyway, the way Derek talks.
Right, yeah, well, you know, they get a little fast and you got no clue.
Yeah.
Right.
So, all right, the other sponsor, Abare, Kresge and Associates. It's time for taxes to come around again. Start putting things together. Don't try and do it yourself. Give these guys a call. They'll take care of you. They'll save you money. You're starting a new business. They'll save you money. Starting a retirement plan or an investment or anything along the financial, give them a call. Ask them what they think. They have always led me down the right road.
I may not even go on extension this year. We'll see what happens.
I'm not going to say that.
I'm sure you don't.
I'm not going to say that. So, all right, St. Augustine Pirate Museum, wonderful people. All their sponsors are so great, except for that Coquina Coast Realty guy.
Well, we'll work on him.
But St. Augustine Pirate Museum, they have over 800 original artifacts. They also run the Oak. They have Bull and Crown. These guys are always giving in the community. I'm so happy to have them as a sponsor, and they've been with us since the very beginning, and we really appreciate them.
And I'm looking forward to getting into the Bull and Crown because in all candor, in the 8 years we've been here, we've never eaten there. But, you know, I don't know if you mentioned that they've done something new, but all I know is I'm seeing lines out the door that I had
they
never
switched up
seen
their
before.
menu, and they did a renovation,
So-
and the food is excellent.
Good. I'm looking forward to that. I really am because it's one of the linchpins on St. George Street.
All right, Kaiser's Deli and Market. I mean, I'm
Blake,
telling you,
how was your lunch yesterday?
You guys yesterday were there. I wasn't able to make it. I had to.
You were missed.
I had to do some dad duty, which is always a priority.
It was fantastic as usual.
All right,
what we
But
do.
actually,
did you stick to your
did.
regular?
the regular, the old faithful, the white streak toasted.
I'm trying to work him on to trying something else, but
But-
he's reticent.
but
He's
hey-
reticent for change.
But another thing though, that was my 11th sandwich.
Yeah.
Which means I got for free 10 punches on the punch card, free sandwich.
His
There you
punch
go.
card is up on the wall with the other completed punch cards.
There you go.
I'm very proud of him.
Blake made the list.
And, you know, coming soon to a freezer near you at Kaiser's, there's going to be an interesting selection of grab-and-go foods.
All right. Well, let us know. Let
Yeah.
us know.
Yeah.
Coquina
Hopefully
Coast
next week.
Coquina Coast Realty. If you have residential, if you have commercial, you have any of those things you're thinking about buying. If you want to find out approximately what your property's worth, give me a call. Conversations don't cost anything, and I don't mind talking because I'm pretty good at the talking part.
You're getting there. A little bit of practice, and I think you'll be right on this.
I think I'm going to be all right. So, all right, we already talked about our whiskey of the week. Mm-hmm. What you got for Word Origins?
Well, you know,
Wait, I'm sorry. I should ask
Go
this
ahead.
first. Do you have any New Year's resolutions?
to not make resolutions.
Oh, how you doing on that?
Well, I kept it and already broke it because I made one, and then I broke it because I made a resolution.
Oh, man.
I do just fine with ignoring myself, so I've got no problem.
Yeah, I've decided that I'm not going to do any heroin this year. So
Okay,
I think I got a good chance. I haven't done it in 56 years.
No skag for you.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I
okay.
think that's where I'm going to try and hold
That
to
shit
it.
scares me.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, it
I can't
scares
even
me.
imagine.
You know.
So
Plus, you got to deal with needles, and ooh.
yeah, Blake and needles is not pretty.
Yeah.
No, hey. Well,
Not a fan. Not a fan.
Hey. But went to Quest Diagnostics yesterday. They're all right.
Did you do okay?
Yeah, they're all right.
All right. Had some blood work done.
All right.
Yeah. So no New Year's resolutions for you.
Nah.
Okay, not travel more or
Oh, I'm a hedonist. That's all implied. That's all implied in my existence.
being kinder to.
Well, I'm working on being a better person, but that's been a work in progress for a while.
Not saying dumb things in front of your wife?
Not a chance.
Okay, because
I'll try, but that's not going to happen.
to me, we've become pretty close friends over the last 4 or 5 years, and to me, that's your only flaw. Is sometimes your filter doesn't work in front of Julie.
Oh, my filter doesn't work at all.
Yeah, but in front of Julie, it needs to work a little. So,
Well, of all people who should understand, she should. But she gives me, no quarter, which is something I'm going to have to write down to see about.
no quarter. There you go.
That's it. We got another one.
Yep. And I can actually go first.
Please be my guest.
I'm going to go first with loose lips sink ships. So, and loose lips sink ships. And I didn't know the origin of this, and I thought it went way further back than what it did. Blake, were you able to get that poster uploaded?
I was, but give me 1 second, but we can start explaining it.
All right. So it is from World War II. Mm-hmm. And in England, they use the phrase "careless talk costs lives." In Sweden, you had to be a Swede silent. So it basically means don't start rumors, don't talk too much during wartime.
Right.
Don't give away what you know.
Don't tell them where the good guys
you don't know who. Right. And I can tell you this: living in St. Augustine, everybody's related. So loose lips sink ships is something you don't know who's in the booth behind you.
That's exactly right.
But I really thought this was more of a pirate term that went further back.
No, it's more of a submarine type of thing.
Yeah.
All right, look up.
All right, and that's the poster right there.
They're qualifying that one.
But that was the actual poster from World War II that this phrase came from. Mm-hmm. And I've been doing a lot of, I'm driving Rebecca nuts. I've been doing a lot of World War II documentaries and like the new In Color and World War II Victory. Yep. And I watched all of Pacific, by the way.
Did you? Okay.
You assigned me that. Yep. I watched all of that.
Fabulous, but grueling.
To me, still the best part is at the very end when they put the real faces with the real guys.
Yes.
And to me, that's when it's so emotional.
But so have you actually looked closely at the poster? Have you seen what's at the bottom of it?
What's it say?
It says this poster is published by the House of Seagram as part of its contribution to the National Victory report. Something. I can't tell what the last word is.
So they sponsored it for the U.S. government.
From Canada.
Wow.
Seagram's is Canadian.
Okay. No, it's Billy Seagram. He was.
I went with his northern cousin. Okay, I just figured.
So, but I really thought that term was further back.
No.
A lot of our terms go further back than that.
Some of them do, yeah for sure.
So, so loose lips sink ships.
It's true.
So, and many countries, and basically Germany, and I can't say what Germany's was, because I can't enunciate properly in German, but it translates to "don't be a blabbermouth."
Yeah.
And there was some blabbermouths in that.
Because there were spies everywhere.
Yeah, there was some blabbermouths in that. Actually, on all sides there was.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. Well, when you're trying to protect your country and you're fighting a war, you go at it tooth and nail.
You're fighting tooth and nail.
Tooth and nail.
Fighting tooth and nail for it.
Yep. Which the phrase sort of dates back to the 1550s, give or take. And the imagery associated with it is a wild animal because you're using all available means to achieve your end. Claws and teeth, exactly. And it started with biting, and the image of an animal biting somebody, and that's where, and then gnashing and clawing, and that was it. Tooth and nail was just no holes barred. Basically, you're giving it your all to accomplish
What's
your goal.
What's the origin of that?
No holes barred.
Next week.
It's wrestling, right? Exactly. Dare write these down. Right? Yeah. Exactly. Julie keeps a lot for me. She's going, what about this one? What about this one? What about this one? So so she comes up with a lot of things for me to look up and research for this. But tooth and nail is in 1550 imagery of wild animals clawing and biting, and if you're going to do it, don't do it half-assed.
So
use the whole ass.
If we're watching Vikings.
Oh, yeah.
And they say, "Oh, he's fighting tooth and nail." We know that term. It was too early for it.
Yeah.
Do you ever catch? I see. I've got to be one of the worst people to watch, and I apologize for people that watch stuff with me. I was like, that's not invented yet.
Right.
Like if I see a zipper in like the mid 1800s and it wasn't invented until like the 1890s.
Yep.
I was like, that's not invented.
I watched way too many movies with you.
Yeah, and I kill it.
It's it. Anachronistic.
It's less anachronistic and more annoying. Like, shut the F up.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. And I figure out movies early.
Well,
So
I know,
like the movie Seven or The Sixth Sense.
yeah.
Like Sixth Sense, I
didn't get.
Sixth
Till
Sense
the
I
end.
had it right away
Yeah,
because
no,
they
I didn't.
show it at the beginning, and he's always wearing the same sweater, and he never really changes, and no one else talks to him.
Right. No one else knows he's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also the one I ruined was Fight Club.
But I've never seen that.
Really?
Yeah.
I won't ruin it for you.
Well, yeah, no, I just can't talk about it.
Yeah. Well, you know the term.
Exactly. I know the lines that you can throw away from
Yeah.
it. I could fake it really pretty well. But I never saw it.
Yeah. You know the term.
But it's just and I'll sit there and Julie and I'll be watching something and we watch a lot of procedurals and so many of these are formulaic, so it's not like I've got to be Sherlock Holmes to figure out where these things are going.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't like it when I say, "Oh, that's who does it."
In Fight Club, it was pretty easy. The girl gave it away.
Yeah.
So there's an argument in the morning, and the girl gave it away. And Blake, did you ever see Fight Club?
No.
You never saw it. Okay, it's a great movie.
Yeah. Good cast, too.
Meatloaf's great in it.
Good cast. Eddie Aday.
Yeah, Meatloaf's great in it. So,
Meatloaf's great at the Gypsy Cab Company too.
the Meatloaf is good.
Apparently, Ray and Ralph eat it almost every week. Yeah.
It is great there. Yeah, we need to get them back as a sponsor.
I think so. It's a shame on them.
Yeah, we need to get them back.
Let's talk to them.
Come on, Frank.
What's your other one? What else you got?
My other one is a checkered past.
A checkered past.
Right. Now, being the restaurateur that I am, it could be a checkered tablecloth, but that's not the case today.
Yeah.
We're talking about a checkered past.
But you didn't do Italian food.
Actually, I did for a while.
Did
you? Yeah. Not in my restaurant, but I was a chef in an Italian restaurant for 4 years.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Antonio's of Roslyn, which was in Belmore.
Okay.
Yeah. And I learned more from that man, Louis Iamuno. I learned more about how to run a restaurant, both good and bad, from that man more than anybody else. Fabulous. Guy was a force.
Was it
of
a
nature.
generational restaurant? Or was it a first generation restaurant?
He came from a family that had basically pizzerias, but Louis at one point in time had been the chef at Cold Spring Harbor Labs for Crick and Watson when they were doing their DNA stuff.
Okay.
Up on the North Shore. And he was a little guy. He looked like Lou Costello.
Okay.
Short and stout. That's it. But the man was just, phenomenal man. But, he was also not the best business partner to be with. Mm-hmm. He screwed over his daughter and his nephew.
Ooh.
Sorry, Louis. I love you. You know I do. But he closed the restaurant. And man,
is he still with us?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I'll have to find that out.
Okay. Because I'm not sure where you apologized to him if he was no longer with us.
Yeah. But he closed a restaurant. I mean, he took a pizzeria. He was one of the first people to have the pizzeria idea, then turned it into a fine dining restaurant at night because he opened a pizzeria next to a high school in Roslyn.
Okay.
So your built-in activity generators right there.
By the slice in the day and fine dining at night.
Tuxedo captains at night, and his nephew was the chef, and it was great food. It really was, but it was a tiny little place. So he moved to a building next door and expanded it. But when that place was going under, Louis moved to a pizzeria in Flushing, and when he took everything, I'm talking...
He took everything.
The commodes out of the bathrooms.
Sink.
Oh, and the toilets and everything else. Oh, and Cover of Darkness.
All right, Blake, your favorite Italian restaurant in the country?
Ooh, Buddy V's, Las Vegas.
Buddy V's, Las Vegas.
Buddy V's, okay.
Yeah, you know the Cake Boss?
Yeah.
All right, it's his Italian restaurant in Las Vegas, and it is phenomenal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's another one. Well, when you guys are out there, and I think it still may be there, called the Bootlegger. Mm-hmm. That's a good red sauce Guinea Italian restaurant. All good stuff there. And then if you're in Caesars, I kind of like the Rayos in Caesars.
Yeah, no. Well, and I can tell you this. Usually, I'm not a fan of the celebrity restaurants. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't like any of the Emerald stuff.
Yeah.
Hell's Kitchen's pretty good. I don't know if you've ever been to Hell's Kitchen.
I can't do him.
Yeah, but it's pretty good. The beef Wellington, it lives up to it.
Okay.
It does live up to itself. But Buddy V's, to me, as far as all the celebrity restaurants go, you feel like you're in in a family restaurant.
Right.
We were fortunate enough when Blake was, how old were you? Like 9 or 10?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we were able to go to he loved the Cake Boss.
Right.
So we made sure like we got him a cake from the Cake Boss, and as we got out of the car to eat with we're in Hoboken, right?
Yep.
Got out of the car, his mom is walking down the street.
You said that very fast.
Hoboken?
Yeah. Hoboken.
Hoboken.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they talk fast there.
I know. Hoboken. My father was born there, as a matter of fact.
Who was?
My father.
Oh, really?
And Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra
Yeah.
and your father?
Yeah.
Who sings better?
Frank Sinatra. My father didn't sing at all. No, not well.
But as we got out of the car, his buddy's mom was right there, and we got to meet her. And it was like one of the kismet type timing.
Yeah.
Because we took a cab from New York City over Hoboken,
Right.
and Hoboken.
There you
I'll
go.
try and slow
There you
down.
go. Right. Just gotta accent a different syllable.
Okay,
That's all.
All right.
But so now, is Mama Velasco the progeny for the Italian restaurant, or is this
A lot of her recipes are on the menu.
Okay, good.
And they're family recipes from her family, and everything else. And they give you the story of each one of the recipes too.
Okay.
And like I said, it's so good. It's you just go. I can tell you, I didn't really enjoy the food in Italy, which sounds crazy.
Oh my goodness!
I had a great meal in Florence, but in Rome I never really found the best restaurant. I found was an Indian restaurant that absolutely crushed some curry that just was amazing. But the best restaurant I ate at in Rome was an Indian restaurant.
Wow, I can understand that
But I don't
in
like
London.
I don't like al dente
Pasta.
Yeah.
Al dente.
How do you say it?
Al dente.
Al
Yeah.
dente. Al dente.
Al dente. Yeah.
Okay, I said al dente.
to the tooth.
Dente.
To the tooth, right.
Dente.
Yeah. Well, that's it. To the
Al
tooth.
dente.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So, I mean, do you eat your pasta al dente, or
I get it to the point where it's cooked, but
so you're an
It's still- it's still- it's still
8-minute pasta or a 6-minute pasta or a 4-minute pasta?
no. Oh no. I'll do 8, but then you got to be careful because when you take it out, if you're gonna rinse it in cold water, it'll get nice and firm. So it could, for lack of a better choice, words, crisp back up. No, I still need a little bit of a bite in my pasta. Once it gets mushy, you're toast. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I typed in busy V's in the comments, and it's Buddy V's.
Buddy V's, yeah.
So,
Right.
sorry about that, Buddy V's in Vegas.
Right.
So
Didn't know he had one there.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Jose Andres and his restaurants too. Now he's like worldwide.
yeah, it's in the Palazzo. Is where
Palazzo, yeah, sure.
Buddy V's is.
Yeah. We used to stay
Or is
there.
it in the Venetian? It's one of those two.
Right. Yeah, we used to stay at the Venetian, then we moved over to the Palazzo. Then Julie liked the bread at Paris, so we'd go to Paris because she liked the bread there of all places better than any place, which makes sense.
Yeah.
A French boulangerie. And then I started doing Caesars, hence the Rayos. Yeah.
All right, my last word origin. We completely got off task, and we talked. Food does that to us, by the way.
Tangents, man, tangents.
Food
Yeah.
does that to us. All right, single-handed.
Okay.
Okay, you know the term single-handed.
I do.
He handled it He took care of it single-handedly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and the word single didn't come into being used until the 1400s. Seems like it had been around forever.
Okay.
All right, but single-handedly was first used in written form in 1709, and it was about a person who had taken care of. It was a political thing, and
Okay.
it came out in a political. And he single-handedly pushed through this legislation, and it was a political thing back in England.
In the English Parliament, I would think, because we didn't have a political organization in 1709.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but it was more of a political term, and now it's more of a kind of a working term or a business term.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so
Like that.
I single-handedly slowed down all the food talk right then.
All right. So did I do checkered past?
You did checkered past. I think.
did checkered past.
Did he do checkered past?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right,
Just like that.
But I think it might be time to go ahead and talk about our favorite hometown, small towns.
All right, small towns. All right, which one do you want to lead off with? Because I have 4. How many do you have over there?
I've got a bunch, but it's there's just a couple that I really like, so I can stay close to home.
Okay.
And go to Spuds.
Spuds,
I love that. I mean, there's nothing that gives me
a suburb of Hastings.
Exactly, and I get such a giggle driving by there and seeing the sign that says Spuds, which is the potato and gladioli capital. They grow potatoes and gladiolas.
I don't know if they grow. Do they still grow gladiolas?
That's what it says. I don't know if they still do. I don't know if they still. I guess they're still growing potatoes too, but that's it. But what I found really interesting about Spuds is that in World War II there was a POW camp in Spuds.
There was a POW camp.
German POW camp
in Spuds.
Yep. And
during World War II.
Yep. And apparently,
well, I knew the Coast Guard was here.
Well, the Coast Guard was,
and I knew they had the bombing. They had the bombing training on what was bombing range road, which now is like 9 Mile
swamp. Yeah,
and now it's where Swiss Cove Middle School is.
Okay.
That's where the bombing range used to be.
Okay.
And when I first got here, we'd look at aerials, or if you flew over it, you'd see the circle targets.
Oh, okay.
From the bombing range that was out there. They used flour bombs,
sacks,
flour sacks. And when the U-boat came into the inlet, the newly cut-in inlet, they didn't have real bombs, so they dropped flour sacks on the U-boat, and the U-boat thought that they were under attack. They were enough that they thought they were under attack and thought they were just duds. And they turned around and went out.
All right, I'm liking that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was...
So I didn't know there was a...
Yeah, sort of where 206 and 207 meet out there. And apparently... on the right-hand side of 207 it's still there, or the area is still there.
Yeah. Well, there's a juvenile center there.
Well, that could be what they took over. But they, and this makes perfect sense. They had the German prisoners do the harvesting because the majority of the men were in the service and weren't in town.
Yeah.
So they co-opted the German prisoners to do the harvesting.
Okay.
Yeah. I know that David Nolan...
So how did Spuds actually start? Because I thought Spuds came to be and Hastings came to be to feed some of the richer guests.
Well, it was Henry Flagler planted fields out there to fill his kitchen for the Ponce de Leon Hotel.
And I know Hastings was one of his architects.
Hastings and Carrere,
yeah. But I don't know. Was the city named after, or do you know?
I don't know. And now I'm going to have to do Spuds as
I always associated those two together, but
that makes sense. And I'm going to have to do Spuds as a word origin to find out where Spuds became a term for a potato.
What are you a member of the historic?
I am a lapsed member, but yes.
Okay, so David's talking on Tuesday night at our annual meeting.
In the Flagler Room?
In the Flagler Room.
Okay, yeah.
In the Carrera Room, so.
Yeah. And what's the subject? Yeah, I've been to a lot of those talks.
I don't know exactly which one he's talking about, but it's where we change over our officers and stuff like that. The trustees change over the officers. Don Crislow is going to become president.
And you are?
I'm one of the trustees.
Okay.
I'm not an officer.
Okay.
So I am a trustee, but I'm not an officer. I sit on like the financial and the development board.
Yeah. I love that library there, though. Oh my goodness. It's so fabulous.
So good. I use it at least once a month. Yeah. So and I use it sometimes for what we're doing here.
Yeah.
So Spuds came to be in the 1880s. Is it around that time?
Yeah.
88 when
the hotel was there. Yeah. I got to look into it a little bit more, but I just get a kick out of that place.
Just the name.
And finding out the POW camp was very, very interesting.
That is wild.
Yeah.
That is absolutely crazy. Yeah. All right. One of the ones I did, and Rebecca said, you got to do Bartow. and I've never known a whole lot about Bartow, Florida.
Okay.
All right, so let me grab Bartow. And Bartow is located in Polk County.
Okay.
And it was founded in 1851. It was resettled in 1851. But if you go back, it goes all the way back when the Spanish first got here. It goes back to 1527.
Well, that's
as
St. Augustine.
As it being a native settlement called Rio de la Paz, and so its origins go all the way back to there, and even after that, it became a Black Seminole settlement.
Okay.
Which was one of the first. We talk about Fort Mose.
Yeah.
All right, but it was one of the first black settlements for the Seminoles that were escaped slaves from Georgia and the Carolinas.
Okay.
And, just some of the unique things. And Bartow, I was like, I like word origins.
Sure.
So Francis S. Bartow, the first brigade commander of the Confederate Army to die in combat during the American Civil War. And that's where the name comes from.
And it was reconstituted in when?
1851 is when it was resettled. At that time, it was Fort Blunt.
Okay.
After that, it became Bartow.
Okay, don't let too many people know that because they're going to want to make it back to Fort Blunt.
Yes. And, well, the other thing is because of the Black Seminole attachment, Osceola, Seminole leader, not a chief.
Right.
He was not a chief. He was actually a medicine guy, and he was probably schizophrenic. He had a relationship with the war leader of the Mittani tribe, also from that exact same area. So basically what the settlers did is they took over a community that was a Seminole community to create Bartow.
Well, the infrastructure was there. What passes for infrastructure?
Yeah, yes. Well, the clearing of the land and the space, and they knew where to hunt. They knew where to to be hunters and gatherers. But Bartow, I found very interesting how far back it actually went.
Right.
We're 1565.
Right. That's pre-Ponce almost.
That's pre-Ponce.
Yeah.
Ponce was 1513.
12, yeah.
He was 1513,
Yeah.
I think is what he was.
Yeah.
And so he wasn't pre-Ponce, but it was one of the first for them to discover.
Now, is Bartow on the water? Is it coastal?
Bartow's
it's inland?
It's inland.
It's up a river? Rio de la Paz?
Yeah, it's about 40 miles east of Tampa.
Okay. I would think
So
on a river?
It's nicknamed the City of Oaks and Azaleas. It is on the water.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
otherwise they weren't
kind of
getting in
in
there.
between Lakeland and Winter Haven in
Okay.
that area, if that helps you at all.
Well, yeah, if you're a minor league ball club or you're right,
Oh yeah,
or
it definitely
you're in
helps there.
spring training for
yeah,
sure.
I knocked myself out at Chano Lakes in winter. I ran into the wall in right field, and it was actually at the state JUCO tournament. We're playing Chipola.
Okay,
It's
not Chipotle.
Yeah, not Chipotle.
Okay.
Chipola. It's a junior college now. It's a state college in the Panhandle, and I caught a ball at full speed, and my center fielder never let me know, and I hit the wall full blast.
Ouch.
And I actually knocked myself out with the ball still in my glove.
Caught the ball.
And
Kept the ball.
And he had to come over.
Batter's out.
He had to come over and pull it out of my glove. I was knocked out.
And the next year they put a warning track against that wall.
It was one of those where they were preparing for the minor league season, and they were in between spring break and or spring training, and they had taken the pads off the wall.
Well, that's
and
no
I
fun.
hit a section that didn't have a pad.
Okay.
Yeah, of course I did. That's my luck.
Well,
That's my luck.
But you made the catch.
I made the catch and I stayed in the game.
Yeah, oh,
that's
well,
the
better
difference.
still.
That's the difference of the '80s and now.
Yeah, right.
I stayed in the
exactly.
game.
Right.
So
Yeah, no concussion protocol then.
I've been knocked out probably 4 times on the field.
Wow.
I've never come out of the game.
Tough. Gotta like that. Gotta like that.
Well, it wasn't a question, and with my parents, my granddad and my dad, it wasn't a question.
Well, Julie's saying right now when she watches this, all Julie's going to say is just walk it off.
Walk it off.
Walk it off.
Yeah,
that's it.
There's a commercial where Grandma falls down the stairs and just walk it off.
Exactly.
Rub some dirt on it.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
So
okay.
All right, what you got? What city you got?
Well, I'm going to stick with the theme here you started, and I'm going with Eatonville, which has fascinated me for quite some time. Eatonville is a small town that was founded in 1887.
Yeah, just north of Orlando.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's got about 2,350 people there. And it was the first Negro-run black community.
Self-governed.
That was correct. Everybody from the politicians, the city council or commission, the police department, the marshal, everybody, they're all black, all Negro, and they ran their own city, and it's still in existence today. And Zora Neale Hurston was born there. Mm-hmm. And she's there.
Was she born there or she was raised there?
I think she said she was born there, but she was certainly raised there.
Yeah.
Before she came east. But the quote that I have from her is that I was born in this town of, Negro operated, but I don't know if it was if that was just a colloquialism for her or not. But yeah. Right. And I get a kick out of that because the city's still there, the town is still there, from 1887 to now, and more power to them.
No, I can tell you, and Blake, you can have this association. At one point, after I left the county, I was doing sports brokerage and doing some things with sports teams and different, like with NASCAR, with some NBA teams, with some soccer teams and stuff like that. And one of the deals that came across my desk was an arena football. Mm-hmm. All right. So when you're driving, and it's still there, when you're driving down I-4, before you get into Orlando, there's a football stadium that's right there on the left-hand side. I don't know if you've ever noticed it. And that football stadium is in Eatonville.
Okay.
The city of Eatonville. Okay. It was the old Eatonville High School. And it was.
I'll have to look for that next time I go that way.
It's run down, and it's an old football stadium. But that is where the Orlando Predators training and practice field was. So in 2013 or 14, I was trying to purchase the Orlando Predators, along with some business partners and stuff like that. Luckily, we lost the deal because the league folded 2 years later.
Right. To come back again.
Yeah. But Eatonville that was the first time I really actually set foot in Eatonville. I was like, it's a cool little town. And I did a little tour of it and stuff like that. And it was my first experience. And I found I knew of Eatonville because of Stetson.
Right, sure.
Stetson Kennedy and his relationship with Zora. But it was my only real experience with Eatonville. So.
Yeah, no, I'm thrilled by that. Absolutely.
And Heather says we did not finish Checkered Past.
Yeah, I didn't think we did.
We did not finish Checkered Past.
Thank you, Heather.
So Heather says please finish Checkered Past.
Hopefully she won't be completely disappointed.
I think it might have been a Freudian thing where I'm just trying to get past it because I may or may not have
a checkered past.
Yes.
Well, you'll be pleased then because a checkered past doesn't necessarily bode ill. It just means you've had ups and downs. You've had setbacks. You've had sometimes you've had shady or bad experiences. Mm-hmm. Some people have a checkered past are considered shady. Some people have just had bad experiences. It's not relating necessarily to a checkerboard, where a lot of people think it comes from the checkerboard, and it doesn't. Every citation I saw, they were very vague on where it came from, but they were adamant that it had nothing to do with the checkerboard, which I thought was an easy out for this.
Yeah.
But it's just good and bad applied differently. It doesn't matter. You know, it's personality traits. Somebody has a checkered past, could
So it
have
has
good
more
and
to do
bad.
with keeping someone in check than it does playing checkers,
Well,
maybe?
it has nothing to do with checkers. There were two bizarre citations, and the one that, if you want to say this is where it could have come from, Jonathan Swift wrote in 1711, and you got to stretch this a little bit. Our weather for this fortnight past is checkered, a fair and a rainy day. So, you know, take it for what it's worth there. But that was
It goes back and forth.
right, and that's what it is. You know, a checkered past.
checkered.
It wasn't necessarily.
So it has
You know,
more to do with going back and forth.
Our contemporary connotation is somebody who had a checkered past is either a ne'er do well or was
I'm sitting
disingenuous.
right here. Yeah, I'm sitting right here.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you're near to me, and
Yeah,
you
you're
can
near
do
to
well. Right, exactly.
You're doing well.
Okay, I'm trying. I'm
Right, but
getting, I'm getting by.
It has nothing to do with
The
checkers,
checkerboard.
and it goes
No.
basically
Yeah, correct.
17. The first time in writings in the
1711.
1711.
Well, if you want to pull that one out, our weather for this fortnight past is checkered, both a fair and a rainy day.
I think that's a direct connection.
So
All
that
right, we
works.
got to talk about our amazing sponsors, Kaiser's Deli and Market. You say they got some new stuff coming.
Coming in
They're
next
already
week, I'll let you
amazing.
know.
The best
Yep.
sandwiches in town. I'm
Yep.
telling you right now.
Yep.
Great cuts. Give them a call. They have a great wine and
And the beer
collection.
selection is if you're a beer aficionado, you got to get into Kaiser's. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You do. He's got 30, 40 different types of beer. Most of them cold for drinking. You can drink it on premise, take it off. And by the way, buy five cans or bottles of beer, get the sixth one free.
Can't beat that.
His 6-pack you only pay for 5.
There you go. It's a 5-pack plus one.
Yeah,
It's its own baker's dozen.
exactly.
All right, Coquina Coast Realty, commercial, residential, anything, give me a call, 904-669-7901. That's 904-669-7901. All right, St. Augustine Pirate Museum, they have an amazing museum. If you haven't been there, do not hesitate. Go see them.
Fascinating stuff.
Just amazing stuff. You won't see everything on the first try. Abare, Kresge and Associates, it's time for taxes. Give these guys a call. They will take care of you. Do an absolute amazing job. Cannot recommend anybody more than these guys right here.
Well, you're still walking around free, man. So that bodes well.
Yeah, they've taken care of my checker pass. All right, Meehan's Irish pub, just an amazing dude.
Yeah.
Reggie, just a good dude.
Yeah.
They have an amazing staff. Sammy over there, she left for a little bit. So happy she's back.
She came back. Yeah.
So happy you're back, Sammy. And the entire staff over there just take care of you. They care about their people. They care about their employees. They have pride in what they do.
Yeah.
Amazing
Food is great.
When you say Meehan's Irish Pub, you don't think of amazing food, but their food is spectacular.
And I know you're a Jameson man,
Mm-hmm.
but if you like Irish whiskey, they've got I go out on a limb and say, if not the best, the second or third best collection of Irish whiskey in America.
Yeah.
By far.
Well, and we did the event for Skull, which is like the hospitality group, the
Independent, the independent restaurant group.
it's not the independent. It's called Skull.
Okay.
And it's hospitality. It includes restaurants, includes attractions, and hoteliers. At that event, Meehan's donated their Irish cream to each of the tables.
Oh.
So good.
I turn my friends on to that, and they don't know which way to go.
It's so good.
It's dessert, but it's delicious. It's better than any bottled Irish cream. Caroline's, Bailey's, don't even come close.
It's so good.
They make it fresh every day. It's rich. It's delicious. It's worth the stop right there.
And it's 0 calories. All right, St. Augustine Distillery in City Gates. We're drinking it today. This is an amazing bourbon.
Cheers.
It is absolutely. It's the Explorer Collection. It's a Pira sherry cask finished bourbon. It's one of the only sherry cask bourbons you can find around,
and it's smooth.
And it is so smooth. So we're gonna finish it.
And
This one's
color.
gonna reoccur.
Yeah.
Several times until that bottle's gone.
It's a beautiful, beautiful color too.
Yeah.
It really is.
So, all right. What's your next city? What you got? Or should I go?
You can, but
Here,
I want to say a couple of them. But you can go. But there's just a couple of the names are fabulous. We don't have to delve into them. I just want to say them. First of all, I like saying Apalachicola.
Okay.
Who got jobbed by the courts and they're getting starved from their water, and that's a shame. Curses Georgia. That's unfair.
Okay.
Sopchoppy.
Sopchoppy. I don't even know where that is.
Sopchoppy is a town of 500 people.
Great name.
Yep. Sopchoppy. And
does it mean anything?
Not that I found. Because it's tiny, 500 people.
So I don't know if you know this, but I almost did Palatka.
Okay.
And it's an Indian word.
Okay.
And it means trailer park. So I didn't know if you knew.
Well, there's a town on Long Island called, and I think the Baldwin brothers or Jerry Seinfeld are from there. I think they both might be, but called Massapequa.
Okay.
Which is an old Indian word for Massapequa. It's like when you fart.
It's a pass gas.
It's a big one, right? Exactly.
Oh, Massapequa.
Massapequa.
I might have to use that.
Right. Yeah, feel free.
Woo.
Feel free. I share.
Woo, that was a good Massapequa.
And then I was looking up just as we were doing this.
Because nothing's better than a good fart joke.
I got news for you. There's nothing better than a good fart.
Yeah. Sometimes it's no joke, though.
Yeah, well, that's true.
You're getting up there, Lenny.
Yeah, oh no, I know. Frightens me. I frighten me.
All right,
I went to look. Well, I went to look to see what the highest point in Florida actually is, because I was going to do Mount Dora, but that's just unfair because there's no.
I have Mount Dora over here,
but there's no mountain Dora. There's a Lake Dora.
It's 184 feet.
I'm not getting winded.
Not to be the highest mountain in Florida,
right?
Because Mount Dora is 184 feet.
Okay. The highest point in Florida.
I got a nosebleed.
The highest point in Florida is Britton Hill. It's not even a mountain. It's a hill.
It's near Zephyr Hills.
Yeah, oh, God. Well, that's bad water, man.
Well, it comes right out of the hose. Just like everything else.
345 feet.
There's not a bigger scam.
Yeah, I know. And by the way.
There's one bigger scam than bottled water.
Okay.
Recycling.
Well, yeah, exactly. That doesn't work.
That's the only bigger scam.
Yeah.
Than out there.
And Governor DeSantis, I'm sorry, do something environmentally right for the state and either charge Nestle a whole lot more than their $150 permit fee for the billions of gallons they're sucking out of our springs. You gotta stop this, dude. You gotta charge these people or cut them off, man.
I guarantee you, I poured more out of my hose than the bottled water. I guarantee you, bottled water saves money compared to what I poured out of the hose, drinking out of the hose when I was a kid.
Well, that's fine, but they're making big money.
Out of the hose when you were a kid?
Of course.
Okay.
I can still taste hose water.
Watch this. Here's the difference in the decades.
Yeah.
Blake, did you drink out of the hose when you were a kid?
No.
Did you drink bottled water?
For the most part. Well, actually, it was actually that fridge tap water.
Yeah. Brita.
Oh, yeah. Oh no!
It was filtered. It was filtered.
I'm a huge tap water fan.
Yeah,
huge tap water fan. Except in St. Augustine, I can't do it.
I have a Brita.
It's god awful water.
I have a Brita.
Oh, I'm a Crystal Geyser kind of guy.
Well, you have county water.
Yeah, and it's not good.
Yeah,
it's not.
I have city water.
It's not good.
I'm the kind of guy who I can't. And I know people get mad at me for saying this because I think bottled water is a scam. All right, I think bottled water. I can't tell the difference between Dasani and I can't tell the difference between what's one of the good ones. Liquid Death I like. It comes in a can, and I like the taste of it coming out of the can better than I do out of the plastic. But what's one of the more famous? What's the
Evian, Perrier?
Fiji.
There you go. I can't tell that's flat water, right?
I can't tell the difference between Fiji and Dasani. If you put them both side by side in a glass, I would not be able to tell the difference.
The one that I could find is probably Evian, which it's a still water. But if I drink Evian, it's like dry. There's nothing to it.
I can't tell the difference. I'm being and I think I have a pretty good palate when it comes to food, but when it comes to water, I can't tell the difference.
And I am a huge water consumer.
Yeah.
Huge.
But speaking about water, the age-old question, is water wet?
Well, yes, I believe it is.
Only if you're a fish.
I believe it is.
Is water wet to a fish?
No, but it's their bathroom.
Yeah. What was W.C. Fields? Who says, I can't drink water, fish fucking it? So. All right.
Okay. Casadega.
Casadega. Let's go with Casadega because we only got like 10 minutes, and I
Okay.
definitely want to do Cape Canaveral.
Okay.
And I got to talk a little bit about my hometown, DeLand.
I will do Casadega in 10 seconds.
Okay.
Circa 1894, and it is the psychic capital of the world.
It is.
And there
Without
you
a
go.
doubt.
That's Casadega. You want to get your palm read? You don't even need to bring paint. You just show up and it'll happen.
Have you ever been to Casadega?
I haven't. My wife has.
Okay. So growing up in DeLand, Casadega is just outside of Lake Helen, which is just outside of DeLand.
Right.
So when you turn 18, there is a rite of passage turning 18 as, and this was back in the 1985, in the 70s, and it was passed along to us. There is a tombstone that looks like a seat, not much different than this.
Okay.
All right, it's more like a bench. It has concrete where you have to set your hands here and stuff like this.
Okay.
So at midnight on your 18th birthday, your really horrible friends, drunk on Boone's Farm or 2020 or whatever they're drinking, take you
Boone's Farm.
take you to Casadega, and you have to sit there. You only have to sit there for like 30 minutes.
Half an hour. All right. That's a long
All right?
time.
But it is a long ass time. And usually we only make them wait 10, but it feels like 70 hours. And you have to sit in the Casadega. Now, this is the most haunted place in the entire U.S. And it's probably per capita the most fortune tellers, the most palm readers, and things like that.
Psychic capital of the world.
Right.
Absolutely.
And you have to sit there for the entire time until they come back and get you. There's no cell phones. There's none of this in the 1980s.
Correct.
I'm going to tell you right now, it's the closest I've ever come to peeing my pants.
Really?
I was 18 years old and I was scared to death. And not a whole lot scared me at 18 years old.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but you've never had your palm read, have you?
I think I have. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in Casadega, in
Yeah. I got,
in Casadega,
lines?
and I don't know if I've ever told Blake this story. Casadega, I got my palm read. And you know how they say in a previous life, like what you were and stuff like that. All right. In a previous life, the woman told me I was a dog.
Okay.
I was like, that doesn't even sound right. It's a reincarnation, and I was a dog in my previous life. May or may not be true. And she goes, here's how you can tell. She goes, I need you to feel right behind my ear, right here.
Walked into that one, didn't I, Blake? Okay. Bad dog.
It's an old,
bad dog. Bad dog.
old
Okay, stop
Casadega
peeking the
joke.
microphone.
It's an old Casadega joke, but you
great.
just fell for it.
That's great. You're lucky I didn't have a rolled up newspaper.
I did that joke to someone when I was at Flagler College in the dining hall, and she flipped her entire tray, screaming in the dining hall. Now, you've been in the dining hall.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
All right. The
Couple
dining
times,
hall
yeah,
is
it's beautiful.
designed. It's designed where if you're over here, they can hear you over there.
Yeah.
So imagine someone screaming from the other side, and I did that joke, and I haven't done that joke in a long time.
Well, it was worth it.
But
it
that's
was,
why
it was absolutely worth it.
When you said Casadega, I was like, I got it.
All right. Do DeLand, or did we do?
All right,
Did we did DeLand?
we haven't done DeLand yet.
Okay.
We have not done DeLand, and I'm going to tell you, and Barbara Jean calls it a bogus place, but there are bogus fortune tellers.
Casadega or DeLand?
Casadega.
Yeah. Well.
But I can tell you right now, my grandmother was a fortune teller.
Okay.
She was as legit could be because she nailed a lot of stuff in our world. Only passed along a couple things to me, thank goodness.
Right.
But
yeah, I'm a bad subject for that stuff because I'm just belligerent in general. So I don't play nice with seers.
No. It more has to do with people's perception of how they read people.
Yeah.
And she was an amazing reader of
Well, that's
of
a talent.
prediction and those things.
That's a
and
talent.
that's something she's passed along to me, which has helped me in the business world. You know, so much. Like I can break down, like you say this, and I go, that's not really what he's saying,
Right.
and I can break it down, and that comes directly from my nana.
Okay.
So, and who was a fortune teller, and that's you know, I'm not saying it's 100% legit, but she could read people like.
Well, I mean, there's
business.
certainly a talent and an art to being able to you know, understand what people are saying and doing, you know, between body language and posture and things of that nature, for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah,
without a
yeah.
doubt. All right, city of DeLand. A lot of people think it's a super small town, but there are almost 30,000 people that live in DeLand. It's twice the size of St. Augustine.
It's a little bit smaller than Long Beach. Okay.
Yep. So it's twice the size of St. Augustine, and it was founded in 1876.
Okay.
And it was named after Henry Addison DeLand. Now, Henry DeLand lived. He was a kind of a snowbird, and he lived in DeLand part of the year. But it is also it's home to Stetson University.
Correct. The Hatters.
All right, and Stetson University is the oldest private college in the state of Florida. All right. So a lot of people don't realize this. Some notable people that have come out of DeLand.
A lot of pitchers. Good
All right.
pitchers.
A lot of great baseball players.
Cy Young Award
if
winners.
you go to notable people in the city of DeLand, it lists about probably 8 to 10 baseball players. DeGrom being probably the best right now. Chipper was not really from DeLand, but he was born in DeLand.
It was DeGrom, and the guy who won the Cy Young a year before him was there from there also.
Yeah, DeGrom.
But there's a second Cy Young Award winner came
Court
out of Stetson.
Kluber.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly,
Kluber was not from DeLand. He went to Stetson.
He went to Stetson. Right, Stetson, exactly. Was DeGrom from DeLand?
He actually grew up in DeLand.
Okay, that I didn't know. I know he went to Stetson.
Yeah, but and Luke Weaver, who was also a Major League Baseball player, and Chuck Lino. There were some other guys older back.
And non-athletes?
Non-athletes, I don't know a lot of those.
Okay.
But a lot of them are historians and stuff like that come from Stetson. The only one that was from my class was Bridget Gordon that was listed in the notables. I was not listed in the notable
Shame on them.
of DeLand, and I'm a little hurt.
I think that's remiss.
I'm a little hurt.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, because I think I'm a great advocate for DeLand.
I think you should. You are.
But Bridget Gordon is a classmate of mine. We grew up together. She was
Jeff Gordon's wife?
Bridget was NCAA Player of the Year for University of Tennessee. She won a gold medal in basketball, and she's now the head coach of Florida A&M women's basketball team.
Excellent.
Still in contact with
Excellent.
Bridget. Bridget and I talk probably 3 or 4 times a year.
Very nice.
Just to kind of check up on each other. But she was the only one on that list from my 1985 DeLand class.
Well, a very dear friend of ours, her son went to Stetson, and I knew this child since literally from the day he was born. Mm-hmm. So Thomas was in the choir there. He's got the voice of an angel. So we went to their Christmas concert 7 years ago. Mm-hmm. And it was wonderful because we went to the Christmas concert, and then we went to the Christmas parade in DeLand.
So great.
And, that's when I found out that DeLand had been named the best main street in America.
I can tell you right now.
Best main street in America.
Best main street in America, and it earns it. The parade that we do for Christmas and the parade we do for DeLand High School homecoming will blow your mind.
Yeah, that was fabulous.
They're amazing parades. And I see I'm coming up on my 40th in 25, and I can tell you I graduated with 715 people. DeLand was a huge high school. Deltona,
that was your high school class?
That was my high school class. So Deltona, it was the largest high school in the state of Florida.
Really?
At the time, and it was only 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. The 10th grade class when I graduated was 715. Was over 1,400 students just in 10th grade class. So, but that was, now there's like 6 high schools that have replaced where DeLand High School is. So DeLand's not a small town.
No, not at all.
and it has such amazing character. The movie theater goes back to 1921, still there.
Nice.
And
Still a single screen? Or they cut it up?
Still a single screen.
Nice.
Yeah.
Got to respect
still
that.
with balconies.
Got to respect that.
Still with balconies.
Oh, so you can go and make out. Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
You got
I
a
like
suck
that.
face.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got a suck face zone.
Yeah.
So, but I'm telling you, the character there, and they're still just, and we've sold our house in DeLand now, but it'll always be a part, and we probably will own another house in DeLand. So it just has that amazing character. All right, Blake just gave me the wave, but I do want to. We might have to revisit this one.
Well, we didn't get to Webster, Everglades City, Defuniak Springs, which is, by the way, just a little bit away from Britton Hill.
I can tell you right now, Cape Canaveral and the connection of Cape Canaveral, there has been a settlement in the area of Cape Canaveral, and it's the Ayaz Indians.
We got that.
Have settled there. Ayaz, and we had to look it up how to enunciate it properly. But in 1571, Pedro Menendez crashed. All right, he settled here in 1565, but he crashed, and the Ayaz Indians kind of took care of him and got him back to where he needed to be. And it's called the Indian River.
Right. Yeah.
Which
sure.
at one point,
Great
Spanish
grapefruits.
called at one point, the Indian River was the Ayaz River.
Okay.
But Cape Canaveral, it's its own city. Everyone knows it for its launches and stuff like that.
Right.
But its inhabitants date back 1,200 years.
Okay. And are they related to the Seminoles or not?
No.
So that's interesting then. So it's a whole different tribe.
Different tribe altogether. Some of them probably got incorporated as the wars happened, the Indian wars that happened, and probably got incorporated into the Seminole tribe, just like the Timucuan and a lot of the other tribes in Florida. But, the history of this tribe and what it did for the entire country is amazing. So
cool.
So check out Cape Canaveral and the history of Cape Canaveral and the Ayaz Indians.
As opposed to Cape Kennedy now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, guess what? That's the end of our show, man. That went quick.
Well,
thank you so much to our sponsors. Blake, great job of producing. Lenny, amazing job. Welcome back.
Thank you. Good to see you. Happy New Year to each and every one of you out there.
Happy New Year's. Let's give a cheers to you and to you guys. Appreciate you. Hit that share button, and we'll see you next week. This is Bollox Talks and Tangents. Bye-bye.